Hey everybody, it is August 4th, 2010. I'm Sonic Suns, and I'm here to talk to you about feet. And those things we typically attach to feet. They're called shoes. And I'd like to question why. Because wouldn't it be interesting if it turned out these shoes that we're constantly wearing aren't actually a good idea? And then all the millions of people in all the various civilizations over thousands of years would all be wrong. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Now, let us examine these glasses. I'm wearing glasses because when I stare at a computer screen for long periods of time, my eyes will hurt unless I'm wearing glasses. But it's very necessary for me because I'm always staring at computer screens, as you can tell from my number of YouTube videos and other things that I do online. But back on the subject of feet, why exactly do we wear shoes all the time? I've taken a couple of times going barefoot, and people are very confused at my going barefoot because I'm not on a beach. On the beach is totally cool, everyone's up with that. But just otherwise, you know, just walking around town or something, whatever. Yeah, I'm going grocery shopping and you know, with no shoes on. People will ask why, and I say, well, why do you wear shoes? And there's a few reasons. There's one reason is actually just cultural, or one big category reason, I should say. And that, in fact, is the biggest impediment to walking bare feet, is because you have things like, you know, no shirt, no shoes, no service. You have various rules on you have to wear shoes and those things. Or also the more positive side of cultural, you know, people may like their shoes, and you may express something with your shoes, or you wear different shoes for different occasions, you know, to fit with that occasion in some way. Yeah, I can get all that, I guess. But let's talk about the functional side of shoes. Do they have one? Do they have a functional purpose? And the one thing people always bring up is broken glass. You're in bare feet. What about broken glass? And like, how often do you step on broken glass? Like wearing shoes or not, or anything. How often do you even see broken glass on the ground? Like almost never. And if you see it, then just walk around it. Not like there's this big field of broken glass that we all have to walk across every day, right? And if I was in a situation where there was lots of broken glass, I guess then yeah, I would wear shoes. But it doesn't come up often, really. And as for all the other things that can poke and prod your feet and random little pebbles and twigs on the ground and stuff, the human foot is actually a lot more capable of stepping on these things than you might imagine. I mean, it is the human foot after all. You know, we've had essentially the same foot for thousands of years, and it evolved over millions of years back when we were not wearing shoes and stepping around in things like forests, and they had, like, you know, twigs and stuff everywhere. Now, most people's feet are actually fairly weak because they've been wearing shoes their whole life, but if you, you know, sort of practice and toughen up your feet over time, you can get quite capable of walking and running on pretty much everything you find. And if you see broken glass, just step around it. Is cool. Another reason people might give is temperature. It gets really cold. It is hard to go out without footwear. I will agree with you on that. On the other hand, there's a good 6 months out of the year, I think, possibly more. I mean, it all depends on where you live, where the temperature is just fine. You can walk around on it. It's cool. And the next reason people give is this sort of vague feeling that walking with shoes is better. And that you would walk in a just healthier way somehow, or you run in a better way somehow. You actually don't. They've done studies on this. They've looked around the world and they found that small number of people who have been going barefoot their whole lives. These are people in, you know, far off rural something or other, I don't know. And they analyze how these people walk and run, and they do it in a different way than people with shoes do. If we have, look here, proof that I'm in Japan. If we have a surface here, and this part could be like the heel, and over here would be like the toes, and I guess over here would be like the ball of the foot. People who wear shoes typically strike with the heel, and then go like this, and this. And then of course in the middle there, the leg is passing over the foot, and the whole body is passing over it, but you strike. Move from that. People who have been, you know, not wearing shoes their whole life, people going barefoot their whole lives, have the pattern of hitting with the ball of the foot, resting down onto the heel, and then bouncing back up again. So you come down here with a little bit of an angle, and then the toes curl up a bit. Ball, foot, or ball, heel, off again. Like this. And that's different. And it's interesting that that's different because, again, we evolved without shoes. And presumably the various, joints and the muscles and so forth are sort of built for the non-shoe style of walking. And if the non-shoe style of walking is different, then maybe the shoe style of walking is actually kind of bad for us. Now, obviously, you have shoes on in that instance, and so that provides, for instance, a lot more cushion around the heel, and so it's easier just to strike that way. But the concern is, and this is actually among scientists, I'll put up some links, of the few people who have studied this, is that this may increase the chances of an injury up to like the knee and other things that are involved in walking, because you're actually moving them in an unnatural way. And there have been some studies which seem to suggest this. Now, we don't have like the big study yet that follows like 500 people, and half of them are barefoot, half of them aren't, and you do it for like a couple of years or something and see who gets injured. But we do have things, for instance, of people running on force plates, and they find that when you strike your foot on the ground there, that's like throwing the whole weight of your body down almost, in that one instant. And if you do this other thing, you're actually spreading the weight over a longer period of time, and that's easier for the body to deal with. And that's very interesting, isn't it?